I've got a message for the collective today, but please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. This message is not for everyone, but it may resonate with about 3 to 6% of you. Listen to it and then see if it speaks to you. Now for the message. This will resonate with those of you who feel like you're going through a rough time, like your life is upside down, or you've been facing loss after loss. If this sounds familiar, you're likely going through a spiritual initiation process guided by your ancestors. During this time, it's important to pay attention to your dreams because they may hold messages from the spirit world. I also want to mention that you might feel drawn to learning more about African spirituality. You could be curious about reading history books or exploring ancient spiritual traditions. You may even feel a connection to places like Ghana or Santorini. In particular, you might have a spiritual link to deities such as Obatala, Shango, and Umoja. If this resonates with you, it's worth doing some research to learn more about these figures and their meanings. There's often a misconception that our ancestors were evil or demonic, but this is not true. I used to think the same thing, but once I began my spiritual journey, I connected with my ancestors and realized they were here to guide and protect me. I've had dreams where they fought for me, so I know they are on my side. Personally, I don't worship my ancestors, I worship the Most High God. I don't give them offerings like food or drinks, but I do communicate with them by talking to them. They send me guidance and messages. If you choose to offer food or other items to your ancestors, that's completely fine, but for me, simply talking with them works well. If you feel like you've been to certain places before or have moments of deja vu, it might be because your ancestors walked those paths and their memories live within you. You carry their DNA and you are the way they communicate with the world today. Your ancestors want you to remember that you're here to awaken to your true self. They want you to embrace your inner power and let go of limiting beliefs that hold you back. You are not meant to live beneath your potential. You're here to lead and fulfill your purpose. Some people may not believe in this, but it's a spiritual system, not something evil or harmful. It's a way to connect with the spiritual world, God, and your ancestors. If you're drawn to this path, it's important to learn more and do your research before jumping in. There's a message for someone who carries the energy of powerful beings like Thor or Zeus. This means you're here to break old patterns, beliefs, and ways of thinking in both your family and the world. You have a special strength that helps you let go of things that no longer serve you. This power comes from your ancestors and has been passed down to you. Right now, you're going through a test because you're in the middle of a big transformation. Your ancestors are helping you on this journey because you're a warrior sent to bring new beginnings. You come from a strong bloodline, and this strength has protected you during difficult times. Even when others may have tried to harm you, your ancestors have always watched over you, keeping you safe. It's time for you to wake up to your own power. Your ancestors might have been misunderstood or seen as dark in the past, but you are here to change that. Your role is to restore their honor by fighting off negative energies. Once you realize who you truly are, you'll understand how powerful you can be. And that's when you'll overcome these challenges. Your ancestors want you to remember that you're more powerful than you think. The number 444 may have a special meaning for you, reminding you to reconnect with your roots and learn about your history. You're here to correct the mistakes your ancestors couldn't fix. Your mission is to create a new generation that is fearless, honest, and brave. You're meant to connect with others who share similar beliefs and work together to help others awaken to their true selves. If you find yourself drawn to people who think like you, it's because your ancestors are guiding you toward them. You might have spiritual gifts such as healing, being a prophet, or guiding others. These abilities are important and you shouldn't let fear or the opinions of others hold you back. Many people live in fear or illusion, but you are meant to rise above that. By living in your truth, you'll unlock your real power and overcome obstacles. Your ancestors were spiritual leaders, and you're meant to carry on that legacy. It's time to stop hiding your gifts because of fear or what others think. When you fully embrace your abilities, you'll step into your true purpose. You might feel like you're waiting or isolated right now, but this is a time of preparation for you to step into your power. Generational curses are not just spells, they are also negative mindsets and habits passed down through your family. You've been chosen to break these cycles, whether it's fear, addiction, or harmful thinking patterns. You're here to bring healing and break the chains for future generations. Embrace your spiritual gifts and know that you are here for an important purpose. You have the power to create positive change, just like spiritual leaders in the past. It's time to stop being afraid and step into your true self, using your gifts to live the life you were meant to live. You need to accept that not everyone will understand or support your spiritual gifts. This is something I've experienced firsthand. If I had listened to the people who told me that my abilities were wrong or even demonic, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be using my gift to help others. Growing up, I heard it all. People told me my gift was dangerous, unnatural, or even evil. They tried to convince me to stop using it, saying it was something I should pray against or reject. I even had a pastor pray against me, telling me that my gift was from the devil. If I had believed them, I would never have embraced my true self or used my gift for good, but I didn't listen. Instead, I trusted my instincts and continued on my path. Now I'm using my gift to help people, and I'm glad I didn't let their fears and misunderstandings stop me. The lesson here is simple. Don't let anyone tell you what your gift is or isn't, especially if they are operating out of fear. People fear what they don't understand, and often they will try to push their own fears onto you. But you have to stand strong in what you know about yourself. You have a unique gift, and it's your responsibility to honor it, even if others don't understand it. If you're going through a period of isolation right now, it's because you're being asked to focus on and master your spiritual gift. Sometimes the universe creates space for us to grow by pulling us away from distractions. Isolation can feel lonely, but it's actually a powerful time for personal growth. During this time, you're meant to go inward and fully understand your gift. You're being asked to strengthen it, trust it, and learn how to use it to help others. Some of you may be feeling like you're in survival mode, just trying to get through each day. This is tough, but it's also part of your spiritual journey. Your ancestors are with you, and they're helping you become stronger than your fears. Many of us are held back by fear of being judged, fear of being seen, fear of standing out. But your ancestors are teaching you how to rise above that fear. They want you to know that you're more powerful than the fear that tries to hold you down. This journey you're on is about mastering your spiritual abilities. You're learning how to tap into your true power and use it for good. You might feel like you're fighting battles right now, and for some of you, this may even show up in your dreams. If you've been dreaming about fighting or being attacked, it's because you're fighting spiritual battles. These battles aren't just about you, they're about breaking the chains that have held your family back for generations. Your ancestors faced struggles that they couldn't overcome, but you're here to finish what they started. You've been chosen to do the work that they couldn't. It's a big responsibility, but it's also an incredible honor. You have the strength to do it, even if it feels overwhelming at times. Remember, you can't call yourself a warrior if you've never won a battle. This period in your life is about becoming a warrior. You're being asked to face and conquer fears that have been passed down through your family, fears like doubt, lust, anger, poverty, and even negative mindsets. Some of these fears are rooted in financial struggles or a scarcity mentality. If you've grown up believing that you'll never be successful or that you're destined to struggle, that's a mindset you're meant to overcome. Your ancestors struggled with these same fears, but you have the power to break free from them. Everything starts in your mind. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and it can either be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. If you let negative thoughts control you, they can become like a devil in your life, keeping you stuck and afraid. But if you learn to control your mind, you can overcome anything. Right now, some of you are being held back by your own limited thinking. You may not even realize it, but the way you think about yourself and the world around you is keeping you trapped. You're being asked to open your mind and let go of those limiting beliefs. You're also going through a spiritual awakening. This is a time when you're becoming more aware of your true self and your spiritual purpose. Your ancestors want you to know that you're here to bring change to your family. You're the one who will break the cycles that have held your bloodline back. Right now, you're in a phase of learning and growth. It's like the Bible verse that says, "My sheep listen to my voice." You're being guided by a higher power, and you need to trust that voice. If you've seen a sheep in your dreams, it's a sign that you're on a spiritual journey. You're being asked to listen to your intuition and trust the guidance you're receiving. You're in a transition period right now. You're moving from a state of being a learner, like a sheep, to becoming a leader, like a lion. The lion represents confidence, strength, and leadership. You're meant to grow into someone who leads others and steps into their power. You're rising from feeling powerless or small to becoming a true leader. Remember, even the greatest teachers were once students. You're still learning, and that's okay. But you're also growing into someone who will guide and inspire others. If life feels tough right now, it's because you're in the middle of a big transition. You're moving from a difficult phase where everything feels uncertain to a place of clarity and purpose. It may feel like everything is falling apart, but that's only because you're being reshaped for something greater. You're not alone in this journey. Your ancestors, spirit guides, and a higher power are all with you, helping you through this transition. They're providing you with the help and guidance you need, even if you can't always see it. This is also a time for you to live in your truth. Stop hiding who you are. Stop pretending to be someone you're not. If you're facing challenges, it's because you're not fully living in alignment with your true self. You may be wondering why you're experiencing blockages or setbacks in your life, and the answer is that you're not embracing your authentic self. There's a path that's been laid out for you, but you have to be willing to walk it. Some of you are attached to negative energies, whether it's a person, a habit, or a mindset. These attachments are holding you back from reaching your full potential. You might be connected to someone who is unhealthy for you, or you might be struggling with emotions like fear, lust, or addiction. These attachments are keeping you stuck, and you need to let them go if you want to move forward. Your ancestors are trying to help you, but they can't do the work for you. You have to be willing to let go of what no longer serves you. You have a powerful energy, and if you've been seeing the number 1111, it's a sign that you're on a new journey. You're stepping into a new chapter of your life, and you now have access to deeper spiritual knowledge. Some of you are having vivid dreams or even experiencing astral travel where your spirit visits other realms or past lives. This is a sign that you're connecting with your higher self and gaining insight into your spiritual purpose. You're in the process of moving from the physical world, the 3D, to a higher spiritual realm, the 5D. This is a huge shift and it's not easy, but it's necessary for your growth. You're leaving behind old ways of thinking and stepping into a new, more enlightened state of being. But in order to fully step into this new phase, you have to take responsibility for your actions. It's time to stop blaming others for your problems and start taking ownership of your life. This is about being accountable for your own growth and choices. Some of you are going through what's known as the dark night of the soul. This is a tough period of spiritual growth where it feels like everything is falling apart. But it's actually a necessary part of your journey. You're being stripped of everything that no longer serves you so that you can step into your true power. You're highly ranked in the spirit world and you've been chosen to carry out a divine purpose. You're being called to tap into your divine power as either a divine feminine or masculine. It's important to stay positive during this time. Even when things feel hard, trust that you're being guided in the right direction. You have a divine purpose and you're here to help build a new, better world. Some of you may have lost everything recently, and that's because you weren't listening to your higher guidance. Sometimes the universe takes things away from us to help us reconnect with our true selves. If this has happened to you, trust that it's for a reason. You're being asked to reconnect with your spiritual source and let go of anything that's holding you back. If you're misusing your spiritual gifts, such as using dark magic or trying to control others, you're being asked to stop. Your gifts are meant to help people, not harm them. Using your gifts to manipulate or hurt others is a misuse of your power, and it will only bring negative consequences into your life. You're here to use your gifts for good to help others and make the world a better place. If you're practicing things like love binding or trying to force someone to stay in your life, that's not real love and it's